Hey guys, it's Carlos Colon with Georgia Perimeter Homes. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between a single agent and working with a team when it comes to real estate. So, the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is going to be the difference between time and quality when it comes to working with an agent and then working with the team. So, one of the biggest things that I can tell you right off the bat between the two, if you're really good at what you do, let's pretend like you're a single agent and you're really good at real estate, you're going to do a lot of transactions in a very short period of time. That means if you don't have the staff to be able to help you, getting a hold of you is going to be very, very difficult. So I want you guys to remember that, because when you're working with a single agent that doesn't have support staff, if you truly have a good agent, it's going to be hard to get a hold of them. And at some point they will need to hire support staff. And it starts with one and then builds from there until you've built a team together. But it always starts that way. And so when you're working with a team, if you could imagine, anytime that I personally am at appointments helping our buyers and sellers or working through negotiations, our internal staff and administrators are actually answering the calls, being able to answer whether it be buyer questions, feedback questions, and anything else that you need. So that's that cost of the time and the quality aspect of it. For the most part, if the agent really isn't doing a whole lot of production, maybe the quality is going to be the same or relative to it. But at the end of the day, they may not have the same experiences that a team might have. There's a lot of points that go into some of those things through this video that you'll see. So, number two is what we just discussed a second ago, which is going to be feedback. So let's say that you're selling a home. Feedback is probably one of the most important things that you would want when you're selling your home. And so a team is able to do that at a very, very high level. Sometimes there are companies that they can hire, a single agent can hire to help give feedback. But the reality is there's nothing quite like that phone-to-phone and face-to-face conversation that a team member on a team like ours, for example, might be able to give. So we have, for example, a specific administrator on our team on a daily basis calls every showing that has happened for all of our properties the previous 24 hours and delivers that feedback to our sellers the very next day. So it's a very different conversation, because if you've ever filled out any form online, what are the chances that you told the whole truth or told a half truth or just didn't fill it out at all? It happens a lot. So it's very important that we have that. So number three is going to be negotiations. So just like I mentioned previously, negotiations for an agent, that's the important part. Your agent should be the main one handling those negotiations, not an admin or anybody else. The admin handles the paperwork and everything else associated with your transaction. But when it comes to the negotiations, your agent is always going to step in to do that for you to make sure it's right. That's where that experience comes in, because sometimes it's always about those little itty-bitty words that are in there in the documents. And at the end of the day, the black and white document is all that matters. We don't operate off of hearsay. And it's a very dangerous way to run a transaction, if you could imagine. So, the agent is responsible for making sure that all the signed documents have the appropriate verbiage, as well as everything that's detailed from beginning to end to the closing. So, the last thing is going to be groupthink. This is probably going to be one of the most powerful things about a team. The difference between being able to solve a problem on your own and only relying on one individual versus a team that, when you do have a big hurdle, can groupthink on the problem, which we honestly, as an inside point of view, we do a lot on a daily basis. I mean, I can tell you from situations with squatters at a vacant home to appraisals coming in low. We think together and we focus on what's going to be the best solution for this problem, and we make sure that it makes sense from all points of views here so that we can deliver the best plan to be able to execute. So those are going to be the four things that are going to be very important between the differences on a single agent and a team. So number one, it's that time versus quality. Number two, getting feedback if you're selling your home. Number three, negotiations. And number four, groupthink, being able to get it together and everyone be in one room or even on the phone, be able to have that conversation, and then the final and best plan delivered to you so that you know it makes sense on the front side and your agent and your agent team is working for you. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm Carlos with Georgia Perimeter Homes, and if you need anything when it comes to buying or selling or need advice, check us out. Our phone number is below at 770-314-1285 or www.georgiaperimeterhomes.com. Thanks you guys. Bye.